The British royal family now controls $28 billion. Impressive, right? But here's what's crazy. One American family controls $350 billion. That's more than the GDP of most countries. And it all started with a single discount store in Arkansas. The Walton Dynasty doesn't just make European royalty look poor. They've built an empire that spans more territory than most kingdoms ever dreamed of. But here's the thing. This isn't just about money. It's about how one family quietly assembled the most powerful retail empire in human history, controlling more wealth than entire European nations, while operating from a town most people can't even find on a map. In this video, I'm going to reveal how the Waltons accumulated more wealth than centuries-old royal bloodlines, show you the ruthless business strategies that built their empire, and expose how their influence reaches into every corner of American life. We'll also break down exactly how their $350 billion fortune compares to the crowned heads of Europe, and why their power makes traditional royalty look like they're playing with pocket change. This isn't just a list of rich people, it's a blueprint for understanding how modern American dynasties have surpassed the old world's most established powers, creating wealth that would make medieval kings weep with envy. The humble beginning that conquered the world. The Walton Empire didn't start in a palace or a mansion. It started in a rented storefront in Newport, Arkansas in 1945. Sam Walton, a 27-year-old former J.C. employee, opened a Ben Franklin variety store with a $25,000 loan from his father-in-law, and from that, an empire was born. But here's what made Sam different from every other small-town retailer. He was obsessed with efficiency and volume. While other store owners focused on high margins, Sam focused on high turnover. He discovered that by selling more items at lower prices, he could make more money than competitors charging premium rates. This wasn't just smart business, it was revolutionary thinking that would eventually topple retail giants that had dominated for decades. In 1962, Sam opened the first Walmart in Rogers, Arkansas. The concept was simple but radical: offer brand name merchandise at the lowest possible prices by cutting costs everywhere else. No fancy displays, no expensive locations, just relentless focus on value. What happened next was nothing short of extraordinary. While European royal families were managing centuries-old estates and traditional investments, Sam Walton was building a machine that would generate wealth faster than any dynasty in history. By 1985, Sam Walton had become the richest man in America. But unlike the robber barons of the Gilded Age, he did it by serving ordinary people, not exploiting them. His fortune came from volume, not manipulation. The empire that dwarfs kingdoms. Let's put the Walton wealth in perspective. The British royal family, with their centuries of accumulated treasures, palaces, and investments, controls about $28 billion. The Swedish royal family has around $70 million. The Spanish royal family sits at roughly $20 million. The Waltons, they control $350 billion. That's more than the GDP of South Africa, Finland, or New Zealand. It's more wealth than most countries will ever see. But here's what's truly staggering. They built this fortune in just 60 years. European royalty had centuries to accumulate wealth through conquest, marriage, and inheritance. The Waltons did it in 2 generations through pure business genius. Alice Walton alone, with her $100 billion fortune, is worth more than the British royal family, the Dutch royal family, and the Norwegian royal family combined. She's not just richer than European royalty. She's in a completely different wealth category. Their territory is even more impressive. Walmart operates in 24 countries with over 10,500 stores. That's more global reach than most historical empires. The British Empire at its peak controlled about 25% of the world's land mass. Walmart influences the daily lives of over 230 million customers every week. The ruthless strategies behind the fortune. Sam Walton's success wasn't just about low prices, it was about creating a system so efficient, so dominant, that competitors couldn't survive. His first weapon was location strategy. While other retailers fought for expensive spots in city centers, Sam targeted small towns that big chains ignored. He would build a Walmart just outside these communities, offering selection and prices that local stores couldn't match. Within years, Main Street would be empty, and Walmart would control the entire local retail market. His second weapon was supplier domination. As Walmart grew, Sam used his massive purchasing power to squeeze suppliers. He demanded lower prices, faster delivery, and exclusive deals. Companies that refused to play by Walmart's rules found themselves cut off from America's largest retailer. The third weapon was technology. While competitors relied on intuition and tradition, Sam invested heavily in data systems. Systems that tracked every sale, every trend, every customer preference. This gave Walmart an information advantage that was impossible to match, but perhaps most importantly, Sam understood something that European royalty never grasped. In the modern world, serving the masses is more profitable than serving the elite. While royal families focused on luxury and exclusivity, Sam built his empire on accessibility and volume. The succession that secured the dynasty. When Sam Walton died in 1992, he left behind more than a company. He left behind a system designed to preserve family control for generations. Unlike many business dynasties that fragment after the founder's death, the Waltons had a plan. Sam's 4 children, Rob, John, Jim, and Alice, each inherited roughly equal stakes in the company. But they also inherited something more valuable, a shared commitment to the family's long-term vision. The genius of the Walton succession was diversification. Rob focused on environmental initiatives and education reform. John took over the company's operations until his death in 2005. Jim concentrated on community banking and regional development. Alice pursued art and philanthropy while maintaining her business interests. This strategy prevented the infighting that destroys many family fortunes. Instead of competing with each other, the Walton siblings complemented one another, each building different aspects of the family's influence. Today, the third generation is taking control. Lucas Walton, with his $30+ billion fortune, represents the future of the dynasty. At just 37 years old, he is already one of the richest people on earth, proving that the Walton wealth machine continues to generate extraordinary returns. The modern empire versus ancient royalty. Here's where the comparison with European royalty becomes truly stark. Royal families derive their wealth from tradition, ceremony, and historical accident. The Waltons derive theirs from ongoing business performance and strategic innovation. European royalty owns castles and palaces, impressive, but essentially non-productive assets that require constant maintenance. The Waltons own a business empire that generates over $600 billion in annual revenue. Their palaces are distribution centers and stores that create value every single day. Royal families influence their countries through constitutional roles and ceremonial functions. The Waltons influence the global economy through supply chains, employment, and market dynamics. When Walmart changes its policies, it affects millions of suppliers, competitors, and communities worldwide. The British royal family's influence is largely symbolic. The Walton family's influence is economic reality. They employ more than 2 million people globally, more than the population of many European kingdoms. Their business decisions affect everything from agricultural prices to international trade patterns. But perhaps most importantly, the Walton dynasty is still growing. While European royal families manage inherited wealth, the Waltons continue to create new wealth through business expansion, strategic investments, and philanthropic initiatives that generate both social impact and financial returns. The price of American royalty. The Walton dynasty's success hasn't come without controversy. Critics argue that Walmart's dominance has destroyed small-town America, eliminated local businesses, and created a race to the bottom in wages and working conditions. Unlike European royalty, which derives legitimacy from tradition and constitutional roles, the Waltons must constantly justify their wealth through business performance, through social contribution. This has led to massive philanthropic efforts. The Walton Family Foundation has given away billions in education reform in environmental conservation, and in community development. But here's what makes their story truly remarkable. They've managed to maintain family unity and a shared vision across 3 generations. European royal families often struggle with succession crises, with family feuds, and public scandals. The Waltons have avoided these pitfalls through careful planning, through shared values, and through a commitment to the business that created their wealth. Their influence extends far beyond retail through their investments in education, in environmental initiatives, and community development. They are shaping American society in ways that go far beyond their business empire. Thanks for watching. Now, the story doesn't end here. Click right here, and in the next video, we'll reveal the hidden secret of another dynasty that shaped the world from the shadows and still does today. See you there!